Sometimes, the greatest obstacle to living fully and preserving the achievements we so desire is not outside of us, but within. Unintentionally, our own attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors can ruin what we have built. Thus, many people reach a certain level of success only to lose it all, not because they lack opportunities or skills, but because they unconsciously sabotage themselves. In this first section, you will learn concrete practices that will help you protect your emotional well-being, strengthen your determination, and cultivate a mental environment that maintains your success in the long term. Without complicated speeches or difficult theories, the intention here is clear: to give you tools to realize how, sometimes, you yourself are the one putting a foot in your own path. Adopt a constant learning mindset. One of the most common mistakes that leads us to self-sabotage is thinking that we already know enough. When we close ourselves off to new ideas, we become stagnant and lose important opportunities to grow. Keeping curiosity alive and the willingness to learn helps us see things with fresh eyes. This prevents circumstances from taking us by surprise. Developing a learning mindset means asking yourself questions, exploring new ways of doing things, and accepting that there is always another way to improve. If instead of believing you have reached the summit, you recognize yourself as a perpetual learner, it will be harder for you to get stuck in a false comfort zone. Most importantly, you will remain open to small changes that could make the difference between moving forward or falling back. 1. Recognizing self-sabotage. To combat any enemy, the first step is to recognize it. Self-sabotage does not always manifest itself in an obvious way. On the contrary, it often disguises itself as excuses, procrastinations, fears, and disproportionate emotional reactions that end up undermining our own success. Typical example: you have worked hard on a project you are passionate about. Just when you need to take the last step, whether it's submitting a proposal, launching a product, or showcasing your creation to the public, you suddenly find 1,000 reasons to postpone it, or to believe that you are not ready yet. That doubt, which seems rational, can be self-sabotage, making you fear failure, or even the success you could achieve. Another way to see it: when you achieve something you are passionate about and are at the top, you start to feel strange, guilty, or out of place. You might even behave erratically, pushing away those who support you or neglecting your goals. This happens because, unconsciously, you do not consider yourself worthy of that success, or you fear you won't be able to sustain it. Realizing this type of behavior is the first great step. Mentally note when you postpone something important, how you react to praise or criticism, and whether internal thoughts arise telling you you are not enough, or this is not for you. Each time you detect it, you could be facing an episode of self-sabotage. 2. Why does self-sabotage arise? Self-sabotage has multiple causes, but most stem from our internal dialogue and deeply rooted beliefs from childhood or adolescence. These beliefs can come from past experiences or messages we receive from our environment. Fear of failure. We fear making mistakes or suffering the shame of not measuring up. This terror of making a fool of ourselves translates into procrastination and, in many cases, into a subtle self-contradiction that makes us give up before we start. Fear of success. Though it sounds contradictory, success is also scary. Questions like, will I be able to handle this new level of responsibility? Or, what if, after all, I can't maintain what I've achieved? Generate a panic that unconsciously leads us to slow our own progress. Limiting beliefs. These are ideas so ingrained that we don't even question them. For example, believing that money corrupts, successful people are selfish, or that I don't deserve to be happy if others are suffering. This turns into an internal signaling system that stops you every time doors to significant achievements open. Lack of self-esteem. or self-efficacy. If you do not trust in your ability to maintain what you achieve, each step forward becomes a source of insecurity. It's better not to triumph than to face the possibility of losing everything afterward, your fearful mind thinks. Past traumatic experiences. A notable failure or a previous painful situation can leave a deep mark. At the slightest sign that something similar could repeat, our brain, in an attempt to protect us, convinces us that it's better to step back or harm ourselves in advance to avoid greater pain. Becoming aware of these factors will help you understand where your tendency to sabotage yourself comes from. And this is vital to redirect your energy towards authentic change. Step 1. Adopt a constant learning mindset. One of the most powerful barriers against self-sabotage is to always maintain a learner's attitude. This mindset places you in a state of permanent curiosity, where each mistake becomes a lesson and not a reason for shame or defeat. Why? It works. The perspective of continuous learning eliminates the pressure to be perfect or to have everything figured out. Instead of punishing yourself for mistakes, you analyze them to improve. This greatly reduces the fear of failure, as each goal becomes a path of discovery. How to apply it? Keep the habit of reading, listening to, or watching content that broadens your horizons. Interact with people who inspire you to improve yourself. When you fail at something, ask yourself, what could I have done differently? And what lesson do I take from this experience? This way, you turn the error into a springboard rather than a pit. The key is to always see yourself as evolving, not in a static state where success or failure definitively define who you are. Step 2. Strengthen your emotional serenity. In moments of pressure, our minds tend to act impulsively, causing exaggerated reactions that damage relationships, projects, and even our own motivation. The lack of serenity generates a pattern of stress and anguish that feeds self-sabotage. Practicing emotional calm does not mean becoming indifferent, but rather learning to respond instead of just reacting. Before exploding or abandoning a project, take a moment to reflect and analyze the situation objectively. Giving yourself that space to organize your thoughts will reduce the likelihood of making irreparable mistakes and increase clarity in your decisions. In moments of pressure, our minds can become a whirlwind. If you do not know how to manage your emotions, drastic reactions and impulsivity can lead you to destroy what you have built with so much effort. Therefore, a fundamental part of avoiding self-sabotage is training your internal serenity. Identify your triggers. Recognize which situations unsettle you the most. It could be criticism from a superior, a comment from a family member, or feeling that you are competing with someone. Understanding these triggers will allow you to anticipate and implement self-regulation strategies. Practical tools. Conscious breathing. When you feel your emotions about to explode, take 10 seconds to inhale and exhale slowly. Focus on your breathing. This helps you take immediate distance from anger or anxiety. Meditation or moments of silence. You do not need to have long sessions. A few minutes a day to observe your mind without judging it can be enough. You will become more aware of your thoughts and thus less prone to let them control you. Physical activity. Exercise is a great channel to release tensions and produce endorphins that improve your mood. Adding a regular physical activity routine reduces stress and favors mental clarity. Benefits. With greater serenity, you will not succumb to stage fright or sudden anger that leads you to make bad decisions. You will be able to analyze challenges from a more objective perspective without self-sabotaging your progress due to an emotional outburst. Step 3. Foster the humility that allows you to grow. When we believe that only what we think or do matters, we risk underestimating valuable contributions and falling into conflicts that can ruin our progress. Arrogance is often one of the most effective self-destructive mechanisms. It pushes away those who could help you and prevents you from recognizing your own areas for improvement. Humility is not weakness, but a trait that allows you to listen, learn, and adapt quickly. Observe the people around you. Each one has an experience or perspective that can enrich yours. By staying receptive, you will be less likely to believe you are infallible, thus avoiding the traps that we often build from overconfidence. At first glance, arrogance seems the opposite of insecurity. However, arrogance can be a mask that hides a huge fear of being discovered as not so good. Many people sabotage themselves by acting with arrogance and end up pushing away opportunities or people who could provide support. Why humility is essential. Humility keeps you open to learning and accepting advice from others. If you believe you already know everything, you close yourself off to feedback that could help you improve. Additionally, humility makes you more empathetic, improving relationships with those who can collaborate with you on different projects or aspects of your life. Practical exercise. Make a list of people who inspire you. Observe which qualities you admire in them. Ask yourself if you can develop them or if you already have them and do not recognize it. Appreciate. Help. If someone teaches you something, corrects you, or guides you, even in a minimal detail, value it. Expressing gratitude strengthens your bonds and reminds you that you are not alone, that there is always someone who sees your efforts and can contribute something valuable. Avoid self-complacence. Maintaining a balance between confidence in your abilities and humility to recognize that there is more to learn is crucial. Do not confuse humility with self-deprecation. It's about valuing your potential while understanding that you can always grow more. Step 4. Define a purpose and clear goals. Many people sabotage themselves because they are not clear about what they are seeking in the long term. They jump from one objective to another without a solid direction, and when they reach a goal, they feel empty or unsure of what to do next. Having a well-defined purpose acts like a map that guides you, even amidst distractions or temptations. Ask yourself, why do I do what I do? What impact do I want to leave? When your motivation arises from an internal purpose greater than just reaching the goal, your commitment is strengthened. This not only protects you from unnecessary doubts, but also drives you to persevere when facing obstacles. The difference between goals and purpose goals. These are specific and measurable objectives with defined deadlines. For example, save $5,000 in 6 months. Lose 5 kilos in 3 months. Or get 10 new clients this quarter. Purpose. This is your deeper motivation. What gives meaning to your goals? It would be something like, I want to improve my financial stability to support my family and have the freedom to travel. When your goal is linked to a purpose, you have deeper reasons to get up even on complicated days. How to define your purpose. Ask yourself, what am I truly passionate about? What need in the world would I like to help meet? What positive impact do I want to leave on others or on myself? Reflect calmly and write down your answers. Sometimes it does not emerge in a day, but starting this exploration process is vital to find your direction. The role of long-term vision. Looking beyond immediate gains helps you avoid sabotaging yourself when things get tough. Having a medium or long-term vision keeps you motivated and, above all, aware that each step, no matter how small, is relevant in the overall journey. 6. Practice. Patience and perseverance. Discipline is what sustains the entire growth process. While motivation can rise and fall, discipline keeps you moving forward. Practicing it involves committing to your plans, even when you feel tired or have the desire to postpone tasks. Sometimes, we sabotage ourselves by seeking quick rewards that build nothing lasting. However, when you understand that authentic success takes time, it is easier to stay focused. Consistent discipline, applied every day in a simple way, builds strong habits and results that accumulate in the long term. This silent, yet solid progress will help you avoid the ups and downs that fuel self-sabotage. Self-sabotage often arises when we want immediate results, and, not seeing them, we become desperate, and give up. Other times, when we reach a goal, we become complacent and abandon the effort that got us there, setting the stage to lose all progress. The power of consistency. Even the largest goals are conquered with small, consistent steps. One day will not see a big difference, but 100 days of practice, small savings, or micro actions can completely change your outlook. How to avoid the roller coaster effect. Set micro goals. Divide your objective into small weekly or monthly milestones. Each time you complete one, you will have the motivation of a tangible achievement and the clarity that you are progressing, even if gradually. Reward your progress. Give yourself small recognitions for your effort, whether it's a special break, an outing with friends, or something that brings you joy. This reinforces your discipline in a positive way. Don't let your guard down. When you've already made it. Many people who achieve personal or professional success fall into overconfidence and neglect the habits that got them there. Maintaining or increasing those achievements requires sustaining and sometimes intensifying the good practices that led you to the top. Patience and perseverance are twin virtues that protect you from the temptation to self-destruct what you have achieved. Instead of seeing obstacles as signs that you are not made for this, you get used to seeing them as steps to strengthen yourself. You have seen how small attitudes and ways of thinking can stop us or propel us forward. Perhaps you are already beginning to notice some areas where you could stagnate if you do not take action. That is good. It means you are starting to see what previously went unnoticed. But there are more strategies and crucial details to learn to protect what you achieve and, even better, to multiply your results. In Part 2, we will delve deeper into these points, exploring techniques and practical exercises that will allow you to reinforce your internal control and maintain your success without ruining it halfway. If you want to reach a new level and ensure you don't throw away what you have worked so hard for, make sure to watch the continuation. I await you in the second part.